In 2024, Los Angeles faced a shocking 28% spike in homelessness, with over 119,000 people now living without shelter. That's a jaw-dropping 55% rise since 2013 and a massive 41% jump in just 4 years. Well, this isn't just a number anymore. It is a heartbreaking reality that is impossible for everyone living in the city to ignore. Speaking of challenges, Los Angeles has experienced its share of troubles with the rise of homelessness, one being crime rates. When you look at Los Angeles' crime data, it is clear the city has a serious problem. Over 97% of California's communities have lower crime rates, making LA one of the most dangerous places in the state, according to Neighborhood Scout. In 2022, the Los Angeles Police Department reported over 92,000 crimes, a 4% increase from the previous year. That's 24 incidents for every 1,000 residents, putting LA among the most dangerous cities in the US. The details are even more alarming. Violent crimes hit a 15-year high, with nearly 976 incidents per 100,000 people. Property crime skyrocketed to 1,439 per 100,000. To put it simply, living in LA means you have a 1 in 40 chance of being a victim of violent or property crime, far worse than the national average. These numbers tell a sobering story. LA isn't just another big city struggling with crime, it is a place where the danger is ever present, affecting how people live, work, and feel safe every single day. Next is gang violence. Gang violence in Los Angeles is more than a crime problem. It is a defining part of the city's history and identity. Dubbed the gang capital of America, LA hosts around 950 active gangs with over 105,000 members. Their influence stretches far beyond turf wars, leaving a lasting impact on public safety, community well-being, and local economies. For those living in gang-dominated neighborhoods, the stakes are high. Fear and intimidation are everyday realities, making residents hesitant to report crimes or work with law enforcement. This culture of silence allows gangs to thrive, creating a cycle of violence that's tough to break. The ripple effects are massive. Gang violence drags down property values, scares off businesses, and makes access to quality education and healthcare harder. Entire communities feel the weight of the economic and social toll, deepening disparities and leaving fewer opportunities for a better future. What is causing all these spikes in the number of homeless people in LA? Cost of living in California. Living in Los Angeles comes with a hefty price tag, making it one of the most expensive cities in the US. For many residents, the high cost of living takes a serious toll on financial stability and quality of life. The housing market is a major hurdle. With a median home price of $912,500, more than double the national median of $375,000, owning a home feels like a distant dream for most Angelenos. Renting isn't much better. The average 2-bedroom apartment costs around $2,570 per month, nearly $1,200 high average. Transportation costs pile on even more stress. LA's infamous traffic means longer commutes and more gas consumption. To make matters worse, gas prices are 30 to 40% higher than the national average. Owning a custody in the sprawling city, but it is far from affordable. Public transit exists, but it's not as convenient or reliable as in other major cities. Everyday expenses are no walk in the park either. Groceries cost about 17% more than the national average, and dining out is pricey too. Expect to pay $22.50 for lunch or $101 for dinner for two. Healthcare is about 7% more expensive, and utility bills are among the highest in the nation, with single-person households averaging $132 per month. All these costs add up, making it tough for residents to keep up, let alone get ahead. The reality for many is a constant struggle to make ends meet. Water scarcity. Water scarcity is a growing challenge that looms over Los Angeles, threatening its future. Beneath the city's glamorous exterior lies a harsh reality. Securing enough water for its people, businesses, and agriculture is an uphill battle. Nestled in a semi-arid region, LA gets minimal seasonal rainfall, mostly in the winter, far too little to sustain its booming population and sprawling urban landscape. To bridge the gap, the city has long depended on imported water from resources like the Colorado River and the Sierra Nevada mountains. However, this reliance comes at a cost, making LA vulnerable to droughts, rising transport expenses, and the energy demands of moving water across vast distances. The problem is only getting worse. A growing population and expanding urbanization are driving water demand to unsustainable levels. Residential, commercial, and industrial needs continue to rise, adding more pressure to the city's already strained resources. Aging infrastructure, like leaky pipelines and overburdened reservoirs, compounds the issue, leading to water loss and frequent disruptions for residents and businesses alike. The tax burden. Taxes add another layer of financial pressure to life in Los Angeles. California boasts some of the highest state income tax rates in the US, with individuals earning over $1 million taxed at a whopping 13.3%. The average single filer isn't spared either, typically paying around 8%. On top of that, the combined state and local sales tax rate ranks among the highest nationwide, making everyday purchases even more expensive. The high cost of living forces many residents into tough choices. Families often have to cut back on non-essential spending, while others are left with no option but to relocate to more affordable areas. The housing crunch isn't especially severe. Many Angelenos spend over 30% of their income on rent, far above the affordability threshold. For some, the struggle is even more dire. Sky-high housing costs have driven a wave of housing insecurity and homelessness, leaving countless families on the brink. The harsh future of Los Angeles. The future of Los Angeles stands at a crossroads, shaped by monumental challenges that will determine its trajectory as a city of opportunity or crisis. Renowned for its vibrancy and diversity, LA faces mounting pressures that threaten its sustainability, livability, and economic stability. Climate change looms as one of the most present threats. The city is already grappling with intensifying heat waves, prolonged droughts, and a rising risk of wildfires. These environmental shifts jeopardize public health, strain infrastructure, and disrupt ecosystems. With its heavy reliance on imported water, LA is especially vulnerable to worsening droughts. While water conservation efforts and renewable energy investments offer hope, they may fall short of addressing the magnitude of these challenges. Economic inequality is another critical factor shaping the city's future. Los Angeles ranks among the most unequal cities in the US, with an ever-widening gap between the wealthy and the struggling. Skyrocketing housing prices have pushed home ownership out of reach for many, while stagnant wages leave low and middle-income residents financially strained. This disparity fuels a growing homelessness crisis and places an overwhelming burden on public services and resources. These interconnected challenges demand bold, comprehensive solutions. Without them, the Los Angeles of tomorrow risks becoming a city where opportunity is overshadowed by inequality and climate pressures. Well, if you lived in Los Angeles, how would you tackle one of these issues? Share your ideas in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.